NFL head coaching vacancies, best fits for Steelers, Ravens, Raiders, and more. The NFL playoffs are in full swing, but while most of the attention is on the teams chasing a Lombardi trophy, a large chunk of the league has already. The biggest domino to fall so far was the Giants to become their next head coach, but plenty of intrigue remains across the rest of the hiring cycle. With 8 head coaching jobs, 25% of the league still open, let's play matchmaker. Below, we pair each vacant position with one of the top candidates on the market and examine why the fit makes sense. Saleh is likely to be picky about his next job after his failed tenure with New York. One reason that first stint did not work out was New York's inability to identify a viable franchise quarterback. Arizona is in a similar spot, as the Cardinals are widely expected to move on from this offseason, but they hold giving them a clear path to address the position. If and when Saleh and the Cardinals solve the quarterback issue, they would have intriguing weapons, namely Batave and Savaravia, to build around. While the quarterback situation matters, Saleh, who has Tua, would also be an attractive hire to fix what was a disastrous Arizona defense in 2025. The Cardinals allowed 28.7 points per game and 358.9 total yards per game, both of which ranked in the bottom 10 in the NFL. Even during his lean years in New York, Saleh was able to elevate the defense, and he has done a masterful job keeping an injury-riddled 49ers unit humming into the divisional round. The Falcons are an intriguing destination this cycle. On one hand, they have a boatload of talent on both sides of the ball, headlined by superstar running back. However, whoever takes this job also needs to be confident they can get, who has endured an up-and-down start to his career, back on track. Penix is coming off a season-ending ACL injury, but team owner Arthur Blank said in his end-of-season news conference that he expects the former first-round quarterback to return to full strength. Mike McDaniel seems like a logical fit for a couple of reasons. First, he has experience getting the best out of a young quarterback, as he revitalized Tua early in his tenure in Miami. There is reason to believe he could do the same with Penix, especially with a strong supporting cast already in place. Second, there is familiarity between McDaniel and the organization thanks to the arrival of McDaniel. McDaniel was an offensive assistant with the Falcons from 2015 to 2016 under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, overlapping with Ryan's tenure as quarterback, including his MVP season in 2016. It's not hard to figure out which of the 8 teams with a coaching vacancy is the cream of the crop. It's the Ravens, and it's not particularly close because of 2-time NFL MVP. No other franchise searching for a head coach can offer that level of elite play and stability at quarterback, so Baltimore should have its pick of the litter. Kingsbury is widely viewed as one of the top candidates on the market this cycle, and he appears to be He has previous head coaching experience after leading the Cardinals from 2019 to 2022, and he most recently worked with Daniels as Washington's offensive coordinator. Daniels has a similar skill set to Jackson, and which helped the Commanders reach the NFC Championship game. If he can tune Baltimore's offense in a similar way around Jackson, the Ravens could be back among the league's top contenders in short order. It's rare to see a team fire its head coach and then simply elevate one of his coordinators, as most organizations prefer to clean house. However, Schwartz could be an exception. Cleveland's defense was one of the few bright spots of the 2025 season, and from the outside looking in, Schwartz appeared to have strong buy-in from his players on that side of the ball. If he commands that level of respect inside the locker room, the transition would be seamless. He also has previous head coaching experience, having led from 2009 to 2013. If he wants another opportunity, this would be an intriguing setup, though much will hinge on what kind of offensive coordinator he brings aboard. The Raiders are an intriguing organization this cycle. The Pete Carroll era crashed and burned, but there is hope for a brighter future. That is because a trying 2025 season resulted in Las Vegas putting the franchise in position to select Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback Fernando Mendoza. If Mendoza lives up to the hype, the Raiders would suddenly have a promising young core that includes the Indiana quarterback, along with running back and tight end Mike Haga. Pair that with roughly $98 million in projected cap space, the third most in the NFL, and this rebuild could be jump-started quickly. That should make Las Vegas an attractive destination for someone like Kubiak, who is among the most sought-after candidates. Over the past 2 years, Kubiak has built a reputation for elevating offenses. In New Orleans, he had the punching above their weight in 2024. This season, as the Seahawks offensive coordinator, Kubiak helps lead the team to the #1 seed in the conference with a dynamic offense. If he can get Tua to throw for more than 4,000 yards and run a unit that averages 5.9 yards per play, tied for the third highest in the NFL, there's no telling what he could do with Mendoza if the rookie lives up to his billing as the top pick. With John Harbaugh landing with the Giants, where does Miami turn next? Well, how about Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter? Team owner Stephen Ross has deep ties to the University of Michigan as one of its top donors, and has a relationship with Jim Harbaugh, under whom Minter is currently coaching with the Chargers. Minter served as Harbaugh's defensive coordinator at Michigan from 2022 to 2023, including during the program's playoff national championship run in 2023, so Ross is well aware of him. This pairing also aligns better from a timeline perspective. Minter, 42, is young enough to help lead a rebuild, and Miami's defense played well down the stretch in 2025, giving him something to build on heading into 2026.
2026. Flores would be a familiar face for the Steelers. The current Vikings DC worked under now former head coach Mike Tomlin in 2022 as a senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach, after his tenure as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins ended in 2021. After that quick one-year stint in Pittsburgh, Flores moved on to Minnesota and has bolstered his reputation back up as one of the top defensive minds in the league, which feels like an ideal fit stylistically with the Steelers' identity. The big question for Flores as he looks for his second chance as an NFL head coach will be what Pittsburgh's plans are at quarterback. Has alluded to this being his final season, so they'll need an answer at the most important position in the sport. If he gets a clear enough answer there, working with former Defensive Player of the Year, B would be extremely appealing to him. Stefanski is a two-time NFL Coach of the Year, and while his run in Cleveland ended, many of his issues there stemmed from the organization never solving the quarterback position. That would not be a problem in Tennessee, where the Titans have the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft under center. Ward flashed late in the season, and if Stefanski likes what he sees from the young quarterback, the Titans have a lot of potential. The hardest part of a rebuild, finding a quarterback, is already in place, and the franchise is entering the offseason with roughly $102 million in cap space, the second most in the NFL, along with the number 4 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. If the Titans can add the right pieces, they could become frisky sooner rather than later, depending on how quickly Stefanski can accelerate Ward's development.